Food prices are rising dramatically. I've been saying this for so long now. It is in the news. It's everywhere. But of course, it doesn't make it to the front page, so it will not be talked about. I'm going to tell you today why food prices are rising, how this is happening, and what we can do about it as individuals. So let's take a look right here. World Bank sounds the alarm on sharp rise in global food prices. And this is talking about the different reasons they say. They're saying that there's rising demand in China, there's drought in the United States, and the unrest in Ukraine all makes these commodities rise. Now, whether that is true or not, I'd like to get into the real reason why I believe food prices are rising, and it is not just food prices, it's every price. Look at what's happening with the stock market. The numbers are increasing, but it's not real. Let me go into something that I wrote about in my book right here. This is where I was talking about food prices specifically, and what I said was that a loaf of bread hasn't really changed in 50, 75, or 100 years. However, it costs more dollars to buy that loaf of bread. So I use this diagram here. I've shown you guys this before, but essentially what I'm showing here is just an example. $100 bill, and in the 1900s you could buy a car, 1950 you could buy a motorcycle, and nowadays you can get nothing but a bus pass. And what I'm trying to illustrate with this diagram that I drew up is basically saying, look, you have $100 printed on a bill. It doesn't mean anything because look at over time how it devalues. So let me go on quickly. China inflation quickens to the fastest pace in 4 months on food. Now this is just another example here, but of course the rising prices are happening because all the countries are printing money. It has nothing to do with the commodity itself. It's simply the fact that these countries, every single one of them, are in a race to the bottom. They continuously print and print and print, and of course it's going to cost more dollars to buy it. Look at that example with my illustration. It just goes to show you the value of money over time. This is the US, and it says rising food prices pinching consumers, and it goes into of course the meat being a big factor here, but this is every price. Every food price is going up. You can see that when you go to the store. So now, is this just China and the US really affected by this? Well, but I show you this. This is Canada. Canada is affected the same way. Look at this chart, month over month on average going up. Things are going up in price, and they're saying that food is the highest of the CPI, Consumer Price Index, and they're saying that food was the one that went up the highest. And of course, it's our most essential thing, and that is going up all the time, going up, going up. You go to the store, things don't get cheaper, they get more expensive. People have to cut back. So the way they designed the whole CPI is that they can mix and match what they decide. So if, for example, steak is too expensive, they suggest that people will start consuming ground beef instead. So they replace steak with ground beef, and they can go all the way down. Pretty soon Spam will be on their list instead of steak. That's what they're doing. Now, the point I'm trying to get to is that Americans are taking on debt at scary high rates. And again, I'm just showing this as an example. It's not just Americans, it's everyone around the world. They're taking on extremely high rates of debt. How are they ever going to pay for something as simple as their food, as their energy, their gasoline they need? Everything is increasing in price on average, increasing in price. And however they will be able to manage this, it doesn't make any sense. That's why I have calculated mathematically. I am now looking not into what proves my point, but I am trying to find ways to break down my theory, to break down my predictions that I've made in my book, and it is simply not, I haven't found it. And that's a very scary thought, because I'm taking a look at the food prices and they are increasing, the energy prices, everything's increasing, and I'm seeing people simply not prepared. So that's why I'm trying to do what I can to wake people up on here, to do so that I've done in my book, trying to spread that message, and of course doing so in the one-on-one consultations that I do, trying to really get this through to people that food, our most essential thing, is going up in price. And the most important thing that you can do today is to invest in the things that will go up in price, whether or not that is food or gold and silver. But the most important thing is that you take your dollars that are sure to be devalued and buy something real. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter what you're buying. Buy something that's real, whether it's storable food, gold, silver, junk silver, real estate, land, something that holds value over time. I hope that you like this video. I hope that you'll spread the message on your own. Share this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to these videos if you haven't done so already. And last but not least, don't forget to become an insider. It's totally free, and basically it's information. It's an extension of the work I've done in my book. I hope you will all get on there. That is at themoneygps.com. At the bottom, you fill in your email address, and you will occasionally receive emails from me with very short, concise bits of information.